Three,
2.
Shalom, praise the Lord, Gloria a Dios. As usual, I always come up with something new. Today we're going to talk about a lot of new things plus what's going on in the world. Also, I'm going to talk about two anointed, one from the Zechariah chapter 3, and also I'm going to talk about Joshua. And also I'm going to talk about a little bit about my testimony that I haven't said for a while because there is a questions that I have. Somebody wrote me a questions and he wants some answer. So to make him understand, I have to let you all know my testimony so that way he can understand. And I like when the people write me and ask me the question because that makes me put whole new video because I can talk about it because I know the word and God always gave me on right time, right things. So today we're going to talk about right now this person who wrote me a message. So let's read his message. This is what the message said. I'm going to put over here, it says, respected rabbi. The first thing this guy says, respected rabbi. Even though I am not a rabbi, but it's good that he said, I'm a king. Remember, I'm a king and I am the priest. But he said, respected rabbi. First of all, he had respected me, so I had told him that I'm going to give you all the answers. So watch my video. So this is what he said. Respected rabbi, you say you are Messiah. Yes, I am the Messiah. First of all, I am the Moshiach. No matter what people think, what people say, I'm telling you that I am the Messiah. Let's read the next thing. Some Jew says, David is the Messiah. Well, I'm going to show it to you that David is not the Messiah, but the David been used, the name, the Ezekiel, and sometime in Jeremiah, both the prophet use him as King David as a servant, or the king will come from his line, from his own loin. He will be like him. But he's not talking about that King David will come, because King David been not promised to come, but his son, the way they are saying, the Jewish people, that one of his descendant. But when I will read the scriptures to Samuel 7:13, you will understand that God is talking about King David's son, not King David. I'm going to go through few prophecy from Genesis 49:10 to 2 Samuel 7:13 to Daniel 7:13 to Jeremiah, Isaiah, Ezekiel. And I'm going to read all those scriptures to make you understand that King David is not the king coming. The next thing. But David is dead. How will he come? Of course, he's not coming. Christian and Muslim says Jesus Christ is Messiah. Christ is Christopher in Greek language, meaning Messiah. Well, of course, Christo means Messiah, but that's the only meaning of Christo. Now, Jesus Christ is the Messiah. As you know, if you read Torah from beginning to Malachi, you never see the word that God said that Jesus Christ will come. There is no word Christ or Jesus Christ in anywhere from the Genesis to Malachi, first of all. Second thing, Jesus Christ is Messiah. Google says in Quran, Jesus Christ declared Messiah 11 places. Please note, Muslim and Quran don't say Muhammad SM, I think so, Muhammad Salam, whatever you call, is Messiah. Muhammad SM is dead. Jesus Christ is alive somewhere by the power of God. So, over here, so Muslim believe that Jesus is a prophet, not the God. Remember, and Christian believe that Jesus is the God. So the Muslim Probably didn't say God, probably say the prophet. And yes, they both believe that Jesus is the Messiah. But now about the question about is alive somewhere by the power of God. Now you didn't see that one, and so do all the people on 2000 years ago. They didn't see that one. If they would have seen, then we don't have to worry about the Old Testament at all. But not everybody see. I think so, not even disciples see. They just see that he disappeared, he just gone, he just went. But if you talking about the Google, and if you Google about the Jesus, then they will tell you that he was in Japan, he was in India, he was in China, and somewhere around there they bury him. Now again, I'm going to go to Isaiah chapter 53 to make you understand that the suffering servant, they are talking about Jesus Christ. The 53 chapter doesn't talk about it. I'm going to read that one also for you, so that way you will understand exactly where am I going. The last thing, whom Christian may call God the Father, as you also says, Jew are children of God. Actually, all human beings are children of God, metaphorically, not biologically. If you are Messiah, have Jew accepted you as a Messiah? Very good questions. So now the last one is, you're right, we all are children of God, but God have chosen Jewish people, special Jewish people, and especially tribe of Judah and the Israel, which is 12 tribe of Israel and the Ephraim. The tribe of Joseph's children, 2 children, God have choose them for his own purpose and his own possessions. So, and I will prove it to you that one also. If you read Old Testament, time after time, God has been only talking about tribe of Judah and Israel. I'm going to bring them back. They will be in east, west, south, north, wherever they are, every corner. From every corner, he will pick them and bring them back. So that's God privilege, or God want them to be his own possession. There is nothing I can do. But Gentiles and Jews, we all are children of God. But God have choose Jewish people for certain purpose in the end time. They will be the light of the world. They will be the beacon. They will rule and reign. All the 70 nations will follow them and listen to their instruction. They all will come and worship the Lord in Jerusalem when the third temple will be built by me and the Jewish people. All these things are written in the Old Testament. So I'm going to read some of those scriptures. Let's see if I forgot anything. So yes, the last one is, have Jew accepted you as a Messiah? Now, it's maybe it's not time, but time is coming. They do not have no choice, first of all. See, they have a choice right now by accept me by faith, first thing. The second thing is, I'm on my time. The God will put me on his time, because he cannot change. If you read the Torah, you will know, or even Psalms, God do not change. God knows. He's omnipotent, all-knowing. He knows everything from the past, the present, and the future. He knows each and every hair of your head. There is no way he can change his mind. Once he choose, he finished the task. Like he chose Saul, even though he knew it. He knew it from the beginning that Saul is not going to do the right thing. And he took him out after the job was performed. And then he anointed the King David. So yes, they will accept me. They probably know who I am. Let's put my ratio is 98%, 95 to 98% thumbs up. When you see those kind of number, you know that there are so many people believe you. And there are few people always gonna be not gonna be. See, lately I'm not getting those bad people message. They are going away because they start understanding that this guy is not going away and looks like he is the one. No, not looks like, I am the one and I am coming. They knows exactly. They don't laugh anymore. Even if they laugh, listen, they do not see face to face or write me back. They don't. Even those rabbis, they don't, because they started to know that I'm not gonna give up on what they say and gonna give up. I can't give up. I can't give up. He don't let me. So yes, they will accept me. Time is coming. It could happen any second, any time, any day. Maybe after this war. Remember, there is another war probably coming up. As you know, you asking me about from the New Testament questions. So I'm going to tell you in the Revelation chapter and the Zechariah chapter, if you read, there is a similarity. There are two anointed one in Zechariah, also the two anointed one in the Revelation they're talking about. But they two anointed one in Zechariah is talking about the assist, the world to the God. Okay, this is how it says. Let me read properly so you will know. It's probably chapter 4. Okay, chapter 4, he says, so he said, these are the two who are anointed to serve the Lord of all the earth. Now, these two anointed one, is he a one of the King David? Or the King David, or the Messiah, the Moshiach, that who I am, is a separate than this two anointed one. Because the two anointed one in the Revelation chapter will be prophesied. In the Old Testament, the king will be ushering, new temple will be built, he will bring all the people together. All those things never happen. Those are the things will happen. And then maybe those two anointed one, we're talking about in Zechariah chapter 14, and so do the Revelation chapter 14 or 15 or 13. And so I'm not going to go into that right now, but this is what is talking about. How they're going to accept me is by faith. Remember, by faith. Now, let's go to make you understand scriptures by scriptures. First prophecy is Genesis 49:10. 49:10 is, this is what says, the scepter will not depart from Judah, nor the ruler's staff from between his feet, until the come to whom it belongs. And the obedience of the nations is his. He will tether his donkey to a vine, his colt to the choice branch. So this is about the end time. The scepter do not depart from the Judah, but he's talking about Shiloh. Shiloh will come in the end time to gathering all the people. Jesus' time didn't happen. Jesus' time didn't happen. And now we're going to go to 2 Samuel 7:13 to make you understand that what God promised King David. And that way you will know that King David is not the king they're talking about is coming back. This is what it says. The Lord declares to you that the Lord himself will establish house for you. When your days are over and you rest with your father, I will raise up your offspring to succeed you. This is what God is telling King David, that one of your offspring. And look, what is that offspring means? Remember, I told you it's from your own blood and flesh, from your own loin. Look at this. And I will establish his kingdom. He is the one who will build a house for my name, that he's supposed to build the temple, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. First of all, Jesus never built the temple. In fact, he says we are the temple. Second thing, that his throne is forever. He wasn't there. He's gone. Whatever, he's disappeared. He was gone or whatever. But he wasn't in his throne from that time to onwards. We do not have no king for 2,000 years. Forever. I will be his father. Then look what he says. He is the one who will build me a house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. I will be his father, and he will be my son. So he's not talking about the king David. He's talking about his own one of the son. King David, one of the son. I hope you understand that part. Now we can go to Zechariah chapter and make you understand that the branch. He's talking about the branch, or Daniel 7:13. Let's go to 7:13 so you will understand. But before that, I read 7:13. Remember, I told you I want to tell you about my small testimony. So June of 1999, I was in my office, and I was standing in front of my office, and I saw someone look like man coming with the cloud of heaven and coming towards me. And first thing, I knew that my days are over, and I started running. When I started running, he followed me all the way to my home, and then in the end of the days, he rested upon me. He rested upon me, and he took me to the heaven. He showed me the things, which is exactly what is in the Daniel book. All the visions that Daniel had, chapter 7 to 12, that I have seen. From the sitting on the throne, opening the book, the vision of people are standing in front of me, the angels are behind me. I have seen all those things, and God have revealed me the each and everything from the Daniel. In fact, my birthday is in the Daniel 762, 4762, and that's how the Daniel prophecy 924 to 927 is being given. So that's how I know who I am, what I am. And then God revealed me through 2:7:13 that I am the son of King David, who God promised. Now I'm going to read the 7:13 now, and look what does it say. In my vision that night I looked, and there before me was one like Son of Man coming with the cloud of heaven. He approached the Ancient of Days and was led into his presence. He was given authority, glory, and sovereign power. All the people, nation, and men of every language, you can say, serve him or worship him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion that will never pass, and his kingdom is one that will never be destroyed. The same promise been given to King David about his own son. That's who I am. I am the Ancient One. I've been telling you all my title, from the Shiloh to the branch to the Ancient of Days to the transgressor to the messenger of the covenant, the Joshua. All those, I have so many titles that I have told you, and each and every title I have given you the definitions also, that why am I telling you all these things. So that's one of the things. And then, so 7:13, and now let's go to Zechariah chapter 3. Zechariah chapter 3. But before that, let's go one by one over here to Ezekiel, Jeremiah, and Isaiah, why King David is not the one. So if you read Isaiah chapter 9, 6, 7, let's see. Isaiah chapter 9, it says, for to us a child is born. To us a son is given, and the government will be his shoulder, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and peace there will be no end. He will reign on the David's throne and over his kingdom, establish and upholding it with the justice and righteousness from that time on and forever. The zeal of the Lord Almighty will accomplish this. What does that means? This is the promise that God gave it to King David, his son, that he will be father. His son have a father, adopted father. I am the adopted son of father. My real father is spiritually is King David, because God promised that I will come back. So the God have adopted me, and he says from that time, which time? When I will be on my throne. If the Jesus was in his throne, then he will be on the throne from there and now. But we do not have no kingship. So the king will come now. That's what he's talking about. Let's go to Isaiah 11:6. He's talking again the same thing. A shoot will come up from the stump of Jesse. From his root, a branch will bear a fruit. The branch will bear a fruit. Remember, a shoot will come from the stump of Jesse. The shoot will come from stump of Jesse, and which is King David, and the branch is children. That's what he's talking about. The Spirit of the Lord will rest on him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and power, the Spirit of knowledge and of the fear of the Lord, and he will delight in the fear of the Lord. He will not judge by what he sees with his eyes, or decide by what he hears with his ear. But with the righteousness he will judge the needy. With the justice he will give decision for the poor of the earth. He will strike the earth with the rod. Now all these things never happened. Remember, it never happened. So the King David is not coming. It's talking about one of his offspring. He is the one is coming. I hope you got that answer. The next one is, let's go to Isaiah chapter 53. Okay, this is going to be very good answer for you, and I hope you understand this one when I read. So Isaiah 53, let's see, everybody's talk about that he's the suffering servant and everything, and he died and rose again. Let's read Isaiah chapter, end of the Isaiah chapter, because this whole chapter we're talking about suffering servant. Now, a lot of people think he is the suffering servant. Jewish people think the Israeli people are the suffering servant. But then over here we can prove who's the suffering servant. Now let's read Isaiah chapter 53, 8. By oppression and judgment he was taken away, and who can speak of his descendant? Now, let me ask you, Jesus don't have no descendant. He wasn't married. According to the Bible, according to the New Testament, he don't have no descendant that we can talk about. First thing, for he was cut off from the land of the living. All the Israeli people were cut off from the land of the living. The promised land, we never able to have the promised land. What God had promised Moses, that we will be in the land of honey and milk. We never got that one. We've been suffering from one place to another place to another place to another place. But God have promised in the end of the days, he will bring us back, and we will have back everything. Now look what he says. For he was cut off from the land of the living, for the transgression of my people he was stricken. He was assigned a grave with the wicked. Listen, if he was ascended to heaven, then why is it he was assigned a grave with the wicked? Was it he was in the grave? Then he says, and with the rich in his death, though he had done no violence, nor was any deceit in his mouth, yet it was the Lord's will to crush him and cause him to suffer. And though the Lord makes his life a guilt offering, listen to me this one. Let's see if he was the one as a guilt offering. Look what it says. And as according to the word, he was ascended. He was died and rose again on the third day. So look what he says. And though the Lord makes his life guilt offering, he will see his offspring and prolong his days. Now tell me, Jesus wasn't married according to the New Testament. He don't have no offspring. He cannot have no prolonged life. If he had a prolonged life, then he never was died and rose again. He never died. Over here says he has a prolonged life. Let's see. On that time, God gave, he died, he rose again, or maybe never died, but God gave him a prolonged life that time. Then he may have a children, but nobody knows that. Nobody knows that. So if you go through the Google, they are telling you the same thing, that he had descendant. He have a son or with a Mary McDonald, whatever her name is. But according to the Google, but according to over here, if you look, he will see his offspring and prolong his days. And the will of the Lord will prosper in his hand. After the suffering of his soul, he will see the light of the life and be satisfied. Now he said he was the light of the world. If he was the light of the world, then he don't need to see the light. He don't need to see the light and realize who he is. He said he was God in flesh. So over there, if you understand, after the suffering of his soul, he will see the light of life and be satisfied. By his knowledge, my righteous servant will justify many. If he would have done it, he would have been, a lot of people would have been justified by now. The whole world would be justified by now. But it's not. Now look what he says. And he will bear their iniquities. Now this is talking about completely future. This is talking about somebody in future. You don't have to die, but you can still carry other people in iniquities. You can, because what happens is when you give up your life, when you give up your life for this world, God chooses you as a transgressor. And your name being numbered up there as a transgressor, and you are over there, sitting up there. Your soul is sitting up there. And that's what I'm going to read. Look what he says. And he will bear their iniquity, therefore I will give him a portion among the great. Now let me tell you whom he's talking about, that he's going to give him a portion. If Jesus is the God, then he don't need any portion. He don't need any portion. And then he said that he will divide the spoil with the strong. Like once he become a king, this person, whoever it is, he become a king, and then he will give to the people. It's not talking about Jesus over here. I'm telling you, because he poured out his life unto death and was numbered with the transgressor. So I don't know how many people are there up there, transgressor, the one they really give up the life. They didn't like this world. What is going on, they didn't like it, and when they repented through their heart, they circumcised their heart, the God chose them as a transgressor. That's what he's talking about. And look what the last one it says. For he bare the sin of many and made intercession for the transgressors. So what he says is, now my soul went up there. Son of man's soul came into me. My soul is interceding up there. My soul being numbered as a transgressor, and God have given me the prolonged life so I can see my grandchildren. Now let me tell you, I have one son and he's not married yet. And I gonna see he will get married, and I will see his grandchildren. My grandchildren, I'm sorry. I'm gonna see his children. That is the promise God has given me. So again, it's not the King David, it's one of his sons. Now I can go through now. Let's go to Ezekiel, or let's go to Jeremiah. Jeremiah 23. The day are coming, declares the Lord. Okay, there's 23:5. The days are coming, declared the Lord, when I will raise up the David a righteous branch. Over here, remember again, he's talking about David a righteous branch, one of his son. Okay, he's not talking about David. Remember Jeremiah 23:5. When I will raise up the David righteous branch, a king who will reign wisely and do what is just and right in the land. In his days, Judah will be saved and Israel will be live in safety. This is the name by which he will call the Lord our righteousness. I hope you get it, the answer. I don't have to go through all these scriptures, but I can give you all the scriptures that you can read and understand. So if you read in Jeremiah 33:15 to 16, Jeremiah 34 to 19 to 22, in fact, let me read. Okay, let me read. So you will know that Jeremiah, we read 23:5-31. Let me read 31. There you go. 31. The time is coming, declared the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Remember, it's not about covenant with over here, not covenant with the Gentile. It's talking about covenant with Israel and Judah. You know, most of the pastors tell you, oh, we got the new covenant. We got the new covenant. No, there is no new covenant. It's old covenant between Judah and Israel. I will not be like the covenant I made with their forefather when I took them by the hand to lead them out of Egypt, because they broke my covenant, though I was a husband to them. So anyway, this is about the covenant, but I was going to read Jeremiah 31:13. I was wrong, 31:13. They will come with a weeping, they will pray. As I bring them back, I will lead them beside stream of water again, and you will be revealed. 33:15 and 16. Sorry, 33:15 and 16. In those days, and at that time, I will make a righteous branch sprout from the David's line. Again, it's a David line. It is not King David is coming, is one of his son is coming. I hope you got the answer now that you are looking for, that you are asking me about the King David is coming. No, they are wrong. They are wrong. Jewish people are not telling. Some Jews are telling you yes, but it's like the spirit like David, his son will have, and he will do the things what King David did. That's what he is talking about. Now, so like I said, there are so many other scriptures in Ezekiel. If you read Ezekiel 21:26, Ezekiel 34:23, Ezekiel 37:24, and if you read those one, you will get the answer about the King David. Now, my main topic was today about the two anointed one that we are talking about. A lot of people are asking me about who are those two anointed one. Now, if you go in Genesis to Malachi, Basically, there is only one person God is talking about. First of all, son of King David, and God gave him all these titles, from the Shiloh to the branch to the transgressor to the, you name it, the covenant of the messenger, all those that God has given. One of the title is Joshua, which is from the Zechariah chapter 3. Now, let me tell you about that chapter, and that's how I know also who I am. So it was 9/11, and I was holding a green card, and I was in the Mexico. When I was coming from the Mexico, I was end up in federal jail, and they kept me over there because they were holding everybody. They hold me, and they hold everybody who are from the foreign national, foreign country. So I was detained, and they were asking everybody questions. They wanted to know how this 9/11 happened. So I was there, even though I had money. I had 3 lawyers. I couldn't able to get out. They wasn't giving bail to nobody. And so I was there going on 30 days, going on 40 days. And I was just reading my Bible, Torah, and one day I had a dream. And on the dream I saw myself. 2 dreams came in, and one dream was like I was with my mother, and we were in India, and I took a lot of clothes from USA to India, and generally we sometime old clothes give, and we take some plates or something. And it was 62. My mother gave them a good brand new stuff, 62 items, and they gave it to us, 63 plates, but they are broken like scratches. And we had arguments, and everybody rejected him, and they all say that he is not the good one. And the same time I got another dream, and I caught up in the heaven front of the angels, and Satan was there, and he also wanted 63 days. And angels said, no, we already gave him a 62 days. He cannot have 63rd day. And so both of them were very similar dream. And remember, when the 2 dreams are same, you get come together, means things gonna happen soon. And so both the time the Satan was rejected and thrown out from the heaven. And they took my clothes, and they gave me the crown because my clothes were dirty. And this is how I knew that I'm getting out on 62nd day. And I called my wife that don't worry about anybody, don't worry about the lawyer. 62nd day I will be out, and 63rd day I will have a fish with you in the backyard with the kids. Exactly same thing happened. I was in heaven, caught up in heaven, and they gave me my crown. And that's how I know who I am. That's another title, Joshua. Not Yeshua, not Jesus, Joshua. He is the high priest. I am the high priest, and I am the king in this end time. Now, 2 anointed ones that God is talking about in Zechariah chapter 3, the prophet Zechariah talking about the 2, they assist the world, the earth. Now, I am not sure if God is talking about one of me and maybe Elijah or Jonathan. I am not sure, because it's not too much is about. But definitely could be one king and the priest, high priest, and then 2 anointed one, which is like in Zechariah chapter 14 they're talking about, and also talking about in the Revelation chapter. But that will be a totally different subject, which is not right now, because not all the nations are against Jerusalem right now. Is only we have right now is Iran. Of course, in UN, they are, most of them are against us, but not all of them came to fight with Jerusalem yet. So we're gonna have this war with Iran, and Hezbollah, and in Yemen, Houthis, and all those, but not the major war. So after this war, it is possibility that they will come to know who I am, and they will accept me, because I have seen the vision. That exactly same vision that Zechariah chapter, let me read that one please. Okay, this is what I had a vision on Zechariah chapter 8. No, Zechariah chapter 6. Okay, so this is what it says. I'm going to read. The word of the Lord came to me. Take silver and gold from the exile, Heladai, Tobiah, and Judea, who have arrived from Babylon. Now, Babylon is, land of Babylon is New York. Remember I told you America, the land of prostitute, the New York. And that's what we're talking about. So it says, from the Babylon. Okay, so I had a vision that somebody will finally realize who I am, and they're going to come from New York. They're going to come from New York. All the rabbis will come to New York, and from New York they will come to my place in Houston, Texas. Listen this. Go the same day to the house of Josiah, son of Zephaniah. Take the silver and gold and make a crown and set it on the head of the high priest Joshua. They're going to have a crown ready for me. They're going to come and put the crown on me. And then we all going to go together to Israel. Not like it says, not by haste, and not everybody be running. They all will have a time. They all will get the time. But first of all, there are certain people will fly with him, especially those rabbis who recognize who I am. Those are the ones. Remember, there are a lot of rabbis will be left over. They're not going to be on my team because they know who I am, but they are still hesitating. They're still not telling the truth to their students or congregations because they are ashamed. But there is nothing to be ashamed. Let me tell you, I am the one coming. I am your Moshiach, and you all will see me on my throne, and nobody can stop. You cannot stop because God chooses you, you finish. Now look what he says. And gold, and make a crown and set it on the head of the high priest Joshua, son of Zadok. Tell him, this is what the Lord Almighty says. Here is the man whose name is the branch. Zechariah chapter 3, I was caught up in heaven. I am the branch. I am the branch. I am the son of King David. The branch from the chapter 11, Isaiah 11, the shoot come out from the Jesse root, and the branch. I am who I am, send me to you, not to Hindu people right now, or not to Muslim people, to you. Listen, he didn't give me Bhagavad Gita even though I was Hindu. If you watch in Google and learn everything, is so much things to learn. But God didn't give me those things. Now they're expecting Kalki avatar. Muslim expecting Imam coming in. They believe that Jesus' second coming. But in Torah doesn't say anything about Imam, doesn't say anything about Jesus coming in or Kalki avatar. But God have chosen me from Torah. Now, and he gave me this one. If he didn't give me this one, it's a different story. I am sure he would have gave me a Bhagavad Gita. I was worshipping Krishna for so many years. My family still worship the Lord Krishna. But God didn't give me that one. He made me totally separate from my family. They still have idols in their house. I do not have no idols. I throw it away idols. I have 30, 40 idols in my closet that I was worshiping. The day he came, he told me, put everything in the garbage, and I was still afraid. And I had to tell my wife to do it. But I did it. And today I'm free from the second commandment. Do not make any idol or do not worship any idols. I am clean and free. That's who I am. I am coming. I am your Messiah. Don't worry about what people say. And you know, there are several people right now, you know, trying to claim, but they do not understand. You have to have a Spirit of the Lord rest upon you. You have to have that power coming out from your body. I speak, I know what I'm doing because He's the one speaking through me. I don't have to even prepare anything. Everything just comes out from my mouth. I am coming. The war is about to happen. Believe me or not, all those things your rabbi is talking about, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Because why? Because I'm here. I am the end time. If they believe that Torah prophecy is correct, whatever they're reading, Kabbalah, or they're reading, their rabbis, sages, whatever they told them, and if they believe that Messiah is coming, then Messiah is here. Your Moshiach is here. I'm not going nowhere. You all gonna see me, even though so many of Jewish people won't like me. They won't like me. They may hate me. Who knows? I don't know how it's gonna happen. Because they are dancing, jamming. You know, if you watch Google or YouTube, if you watch Krishna, the icon, Krishna temple people, they're dancing and jamming, and it feels like they are the one receive all this salvation. Then you go to the Muslim mosque and they all are bow down 5 times a day. And it seems like, wow, they must have received the salvation. Then you go to the Christian temple, church, and over there also, they say, oh, we are born again. Wait a minute. So everybody got salvation except the Jew. And the Jews are the chosen people of God. I don't understand that part. If you look, they are dancing and jamming, it's like they really got into. And then all these gurus in India, the way they talk, oh my God, you feel like, wait a minute, where this guy get the knowledge? But you get the knowledge. If you read, you're going to get the knowledge. Knowledge is here. You just need to know how to let the people bow down. I don't want you to bow down, but listen to me. I am the real Moshiach. I am going to be your king, and I am going to change the world. God will change the whole things through me. There will be a peace. There will be, everything will be right according to the 10 commandments, according to the Jewish law. All these things are coming, and you cannot change nothing. Salvation is through Jew only. Only Jew. When the king, they will accept me as a king, when I will be on my throne, in one day God will pour the Spirit upon each and everybody, the remnant of the people. Remember, there are so many people will be disappear. Not rapture. I'm not talking about rapture. The bad people will die. But the remnant of the people will receive the salvation, and there will be the things I cannot explain. It's like a photography that you look somebody, but you don't think, you don't go deeper into them. It's like you don't want to think about them. That's what I have. Like a photographic, like you take the camera, tuck, pictures, but you cannot think about that. I want to think, I cannot think. I want to think something, right? So I'm empty, I'm sitting myself, and I can't think about anybody. He don't let me think anybody. It's like empty. I'm sitting over there myself. That's the kind of salvation you will receive. That you will be thinking good about everybody. You won't think nothing about nobody. You will help each other. You try to work with them. Now, right now, I cannot do it because the devil, the Satan, the people that don't have salvation, they attack me. But I have to be calm and see what is the best I can do for them. Thank you and God bless you. We'll see you next week.